Hey guys, it's Johnny. Welcome back to the Wanderlust bus. So today is a huge day for us. The floor is going in. That's right, we are putting down our first layer of flooring. We've gone with a product from Home Depot. It is a Pure Bond plywood, and it is formaldehyde free, so there's no chemicals, and it's all good stuff. So the other thing is, you won't see it in the piece I'm going to illustrate to you here, but in other areas we used a product from Nauf Insulation. We got it from the Do It Best Center. It was a really good price, and I'll show you. I'll have a link on the website so that you guys can go and get yourself some if you want to. But it's a mineral wool insulation, and it's actually flame retardant, and it's chemical free as well, and it doesn't have that itchiness either. So where we're not using that is actually what I'm going to show you today, and that is right here, the wheel wells. And I want to go ahead and waterproof the so wire probably should go. We need to get these waterproofed, so I wanted to go ahead and use that. And this is actually the old top to the bus when it was commercial, so I'm going to reuse that, and we're going to waterproof underneath it so that it acts as a water barrier before we put our subfloor down. So I'm going to go ahead and get that out and get the thing all glued down, and then we'll get the wood in. Ah, there it is. Alright, you know what? Let me go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and get this whole thing all knocked down, and then we'll go ahead and put this down, and I'll show you what we do with the wood next. Alright, once the glue's slightly tacky, go ahead and get your plywood in. Now, we've notched all of our plywood so that it fits inside the outer groove edge of the bus. Once you get the wood down, you'll need to give it a gentle nudge. Now that's seated down in there, we got to pre-drill some screws. The reason we're pre-drilling, the steel in this bus is extremely hard, and self-tapping screws will not go through it on their own. So we're actually pre-drilling with a metal bit and making the holes before we go ahead and drive the screws in. I've got about 25 more screws to put into this board alone, and then we're going to have to make the center covers, and we'll show you how to do that in just a second. But let me go ahead and knock all these out, and we'll come back in a second. Alright, now that all of the panels that are actually attached to the frame are actually, well, attached, we have to address the panels that are not getting permanently attached. Now, there's not a lot of them, but all the space you see behind me has to be accessible because there's fittings and there's pipes and stuff that need to be checked for maintenance, checked to make sure they're staying in place, as well as if something goes wrong, they need to access these areas. So I'm going to insulate these, and then we're going to put these in, the same paneling that we're using for the subfloor, we're going to put here too, but we're going to actually embed rare earth magnets into the bottom of this so that it holds tight against this steel, and on top of that we'll have the other flooring, so it'll be a really good tight seal on top of all of this stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and get all that done, and then we need to go address this bench. Alright, so now that you get all of the pieces down, like I said, we're going to attach rare earth magnets, and I'll show you how to do that in a short video later on. But once you get all these pieces down, that completes our floor.
And that is measured wrong because there's about an inch of play in between these. So that's gonna have to get recut. Nonetheless, I'll get that recut, and then we're gonna go address this back bench, which is gonna be a nightmare. But that's okay, we'll talk about it in just a second. I'm gonna go cut this. So now that I got that piece cut and put back in place, because apparently I can't measure, I have to measure more. Nonetheless, there's going to be a lot of intricate details that we have to do because we want to make sure that everything is notched and everything is supported as much as possible back here. This is actually going to be our closet. It's going to be 2 levels deep. There'll be this level here, which will come out to about this point, which is the cross member at the base of the seat. And we're going to run a level up here, and that's where we'll keep the everyday clothes, our stuff that we use all the time. And then those shelves will be able to come out, and we will set up another deeper shelf back here for storage and for blankets and pillows and extra stuff, because the kids' playroom is also our bedroom, and the bed folds up. That'll be later on. We got a long way to go before that. But I need to get this measured because the process is the same as it was on the floor. We got to put the insulation in, which requires a lot of stupid triangle cuts, and then we got to go ahead and measure the entire frame out, cut all the wood, which is going to be even more complicated than the floor because there's going to be some compound miters that we have to do on this. So we're going to go ahead and get all of this done. We're going to get all of this knocked out, and then we'll come back and I'll tell you exactly what's coming up next. So we've got it all cut, everything is installed, everything has been insulated, and it is all together. Now, I don't have a lot of footage of the cutting because none of it was suitable for air. I was not the best when it came to my language during that whole ordeal. There's a lot of factors you have to consider, and I didn't when I first did the first time. The angles on the metal are close, but they're not exact. So you have to take more than one measurement across the board. You can't just take a single run measurement as you would if you were doing just regular construction. So once I figured that out, I came back, and as you can see, all of the angles are a lot tighter. Everything comes together a lot more. Now there's still a little bit of deviation, but that'll be compensated for with the construction we're going to be doing with the shelves and the closet unit here. And we're going to finish off the top up here with a fiberglass layer with the insulation in between that, so we have a nice smooth surface. And it's going to be a lot easier than trying to make the back cover of this thing out of wood and get the angles right on that, since this was so much fun. So I'm going to just go ahead and do the fiberglass. We've got a couple other things coming up, and actually speaking of things coming up, I've promised you guys a video of the way we're going to attach these floor panels on the subfloor, and our rare earth magnets came in. So that's a video that's going to be coming up real soon, and they're strong magnets. So yeah, we're very excited about this because I think it's going to work really, really well, and I'll do a short little video about how we're going to mortise these into the floor panels in a little while, so you'll see that coming up. We've also got the next thing in line is the dashboard, and we are going to put together and create our dashboard from essentially scratch and put the components back into it, so that's coming up as well. In the meantime, website, check it out, thewanderlustbus.com, our Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter, and all the social media. We promise we're going to get on those more. We've just had so much going on that we really haven't devoted the time we should to that stuff. But we'll be in contact, and anytime you guys want to talk, by all means, get in contact with us. Until next time, I'm Johnny with the Wanderlust Bus. We'll see you soon. Thanks for stopping by.